when you go back, the wrist is going back, and then as you come forward, the wrist is coming forward. And that's leading to quite a lot of power, but less control, less potential for spin. Because you're in between an Eastern and a semi-Western forehand grip, we're going to be putting quite a lot of shape on our shot, and I want you to keep your wrist up. Okay, so as we come through, our wrist is going to stay in that position with that right angle there. And then as we drop it down, we're going to maintain that right angle. We can still generate racket head lag because the racket's up in this position rather than this position. Now when you come forward from this position, that racket head lag will lead the racket into that position from there to there. And it's going to be quite relaxed. You'll let, as the arm comes through, you'll let that wrist being relaxed come through and connect with the ball. So that wrist will come through on contact, but not because you've prepared it to on a kind of a hinge on the take back. And if I was going to talk about the planes of the wrist, going that way is the radial plane, which is what you're going to be using to cock the racket up. At the moment you've been using this plane on the wrist, which is called the sagittal plane. You're going to use the sagittal plane as we generate racket head lag, and then it comes forwards through there. But in the preparation phase, we're only going to cock the wrist on the radial plane. Okay, and that's going to give you that stability through the take back, that just before we go into contact, the racket's always going to be in the same position. Because if you're coming back with the wrist here and then forwards with that slap that you're using, then your wrist is not necessarily going to be in the same position each time. And there's a lot of variables that can go into the contact point there. What this is going to lead to is you being able to take that ball a bit earlier as well. Because when you take that wrist back like this, it suits hitting it right there in line with the body. And this is where you can't get the top spin. So by locking that wrist out and hitting it further in front, that racket will be going up more and you'll get more access to spin.